All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Gooner Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is a preview for the Chelsea versus Arsenal game, where Arsenal go to Stamford Bridge in the hope that they will take 3 points in what is soon to be a must-win game, as quoted by Mikel Arteta today in the press conference. Now, apologies if my voice comes across a little bit hoarse. Still battling this cold that I've had for the last 2 weeks now, 3 weeks now. You know that the cold is doing a dance right now because I had a sore throat which started in the middle of my throat. Then it went to the right of my throat like 3 days ago. Now it's on the extreme left of my throat. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I'm hoping, praying, in Jesus' name, that we're at the latter stages of this cold. So apologies if I sound weird. It is what it is. I'm going to have to deal with it. Right. So, Chelsea. Lampard's Chelsea. This is not going to be an easy game. Now, I personally think that people will look at me and say, must win. Top four is already gone. And yeah, on the whole, generally, I think it's gone. Because for me, it's not just about the points deficit. It's the teams that you have to overhaul in order to get to top four. So, Palace, are we playing better football than Palace? I'm not entirely sure about that. You've got Spurs here as well. We're playing better football than Spurs. No, even as bad as they are, they're also equally having a terrible season. And yet they're still higher in the league than us. We've got Sheffield United who are playing out of their skins. And you saw them battle to a point against us at the Emirates. Subsequently, we're being linked with two of their players. That's one of those ones I'm talking about in another time. Wolves, we're playing better football than Wolves. No, not really. Man United, no, not really. Gosh, how depressing is this? And then you get to Spurs. Then you get to Chelsea. So it's more than just the fact that we're 10 points behind them. That's why I repeat, we are. Excuse me, let me double check that in case I get it wrong. We are. Chelsea has 39 points. We have 29 points. Yep. We are exactly 10 points behind them. It's the teams that you have to overhaul in order to get to that position. The only thing that I would say is that our teams at the moment keep stuttering, whether it's Spurs, whether it's Chelsea. Nobody seems to be putting a stamp on this top four race. In any other season, to be honest with you, the top four race would be done if we were performing like this. But Chelsea, who were up until November absolutely flying, I've just had a real stuttery December, and I've not really shaken it off. But they keep getting results that you wouldn't necessarily expect them to get. For me, the biggest surprise of the ones that they did get was when they lost 2-1 to Bournemouth at home. That's what, to me, started them down this path of results. Just look at Chelsea's last 6 or so results. So they lost to West Ham. So that was at the end of November. They lost to West Ham at home. Then they beat Villa. So you think, okay, Chelsea are back. Then they lose the very next week to Everton away from home. They beat Lille in an interesting game. I did watch that game. I remember that. Then they lost to Bournemouth, like I mentioned. Then Chelsea beat a 10-man Tottenham. But then they lost to Southampton at home. Like I couldn't believe that result when I saw it on Boxing Day. Then they went to Emirates because Arsenal like gift wrapping wins. If you need a win, we'll gift wrap you a win. Or was it Christmas? Oh, well, that gives us more of an excuse. They come to Emirates a month ago and beat us. But then they draw the very next week to Brighton. Yes, Brighton showed how to get a result out of Chelsea. They beat Nottingham Forest 2-0. And they smashed Burnley 3-0. But then Newcastle go ahead and beat them away from home. And subsequently now they are about to play us. So Chelsea are not in the most fluent of form themselves. From our point of view, we most certainly aren't. I think a lot of fans are encouraged by the fact that we're not playing like we did under Emre, but for all it's worth, we're not exactly improving our results. Performances might be stepping up, but the results most certainly aren't. And I think what's worrying people is that we're taking leads of games, and now we're not even shutting those leads out. You know? When Arsenal have a 1-0 lead, you're worried. When Arsenal have a 2-0 lead, you're worried. And actually, whereas the start of the season, I never thought scoring goals was a particularly big problem for us. Maybe scoring goals is actually a problem now. So it's like, it's bad enough that we have a problem going behind us. Now we have a problem in front of us. Our superstar striker in Lacazette has had a terrible season. It's something that I've identified from the very start. It was, you could see that for some reason something is wrong there. Something just seems very wrong there. He obviously was very highly critical of the fact that, of his teammates on Saturday. Whereas Mikel Arteta was apparently happy with the performance, compared to Chris Wilder, who was like, "No, I'm disappointed that we got a draw at the Emirates," which in itself just tells you the difference between the attitudes of the two managers and the ambition of the two managers. Whereas one was happy, one wasn't. Lacazette just flat out said that we're playing crap at the moment and we need to find a way of killing off teams. Sorry, mate, that includes you too. You're playing crap. Like, you are playing crap. You were the captain at the weekend, and you most certainly didn't play like a captain. So how are they supposed to be inspired when they see their captain just sulking and going about his business? And I like Lacazette, but I think he needs a shock. And I want you to keep that sentence in mind prior to seeing my team. I'm about to show you the 11 that I would play against Chelsea. There's not that many people watching live, predominantly because I've come on stupidly late. I've got into a horrible habit with my previews now where I'm putting it out way too late. I will fix that moving forward. But in the meantime, the thing that you guys can do, the little of you guys that are watching, first of all, thank you. Second of all, do me one favor. It's free, it's easy, it stops me bitching. Just stick a like on this video and it helps people notice. Because also I know my YouTube notifications don't work. So the other thing you can do is help me help them see this by sticking a like on this video and hitting the subscribe button. Moving on to the game, and obviously Ahmed's question, am I confident going into this game? Now, to me, in all honesty, no, I'm not. If you want me to be real, no, I'm not. I'm not confident going into this game just because of the way we've been playing recently. I did predict that I predicted that Sheffield United would beat us at a weekend. Now, whilst I felt like Arsenal probably should have won the game at a weekend, it didn't surprise me that we conceded a late goal because we seem to have a habit of conceding late goals. I thought for as well as Mustafi did for most of the game, and made some mistakes towards the end of the game, I think put us under pressure. I thought David Luiz played well. Saka played well, particularly in the first half. There's not really a lot else I could say for our defence at the very least. So I think from our perspective, obviously we don't play again until next Monday, I believe. I think that's Bournemouth away. So with that in mind, I've kind of put out some players who maybe ideally need a rest, but will hopefully get a rest within the next coming weeks. I've also rotated some players out, purely because I think they look exhausted or they're about to be exhausted, or we might need them in the next coming weeks. And what we don't want is to encourage an injury. Again, these are things I want you to keep in mind prior to seeing my team. Because I've got a feeling you guys are going to bitch about my team. Dominic, it's busting shit because we ain't winning. Oh, I agree. I'm with you. I don't think we're winning either, but I'll give my prediction after. So I guess without further ado, as I always say to you, this isn't the team that I predict Mikel Arteta will put out. This is the team that I would put out if I was Mikel Arteta. So I'll show you my team. You guys let me know what you think. Bear with. Bear with. All right, here we go. So this is my 11. It is what it is. I'll show you the whole thing. Hopefully you can see that a little bit better. I've made some changes, as you can see. And I made some changes just because I feel like I want to refresh the team a little bit. I've decided to put Hector Bellerin at right back, not because I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles did anything wrong. I just feel like we've got a right back there. Either he's fit or he ain't. So if he's fit, let's have him as a right back and see what he does. I must admit, I've never been overly high on Hector Bellerin. I do think he's done as a player, but while he's in the team, we might as well use him. He's a right back. Let's see what he's got. Me personally, I'm going to give you a spoiler. He's going to be on my summer chopping block. Straight up. He's going to be actually number 1 or number 2 on my summer chopping block. Because I feel like, to me, I'd cash in now and get a Max Aarons or someone like that to be a starring right back. We're also linked with Sheffield United's Baldock. He obviously played against us over the weekend. And that's someone I also have. Doherty is another name that people mention a lot. But I think right back is a position we need to start looking at. I know that people would want us to buy a right back even if Hector doesn't leave. I'd agree with that. But I think we need to start with our starting right back. So, to me, I know I've been bashing him about starting. But for me, I'm just going to rotate Ainsley out and I'm going to put Hector in. And let's see what happens. Keeping in mind that Ainsley will probably be on the bench for me as well. I've decided to take Mustafi out. I didn't mind his performance for most of the game, but then he made that lapse in concentration that made me think, oh. Now, what worries me about playing Holding in this position is Holding plays in David Luiz's spot. He's a left-sided centre-back, but he's a right footer. So I'm hoping that by playing Holding here, it's not going to mean that he's going to start making errors. We need Holding back, and we need him back firing. It's unfortunate for him that we're now starting to do what I think is a good decision, and that is planning for the future, planning who's going to be playing next to Saliba. A lot of talk that it'll be Upamecano. I'm still not convinced Upamecano will be an Arsenal player. But if it is Upamecano, to me, Upamecano alongside Saliba is the smart decision. I was hoping it would be Holding. But to me, I actually think he's regressed this season. It's up to him now, in my view, to have a big 2020 finish. No injuries, no nothing, and play out the season strong. Because in my opinion, I think he's fighting for his place. He's fighting for his place in the squad. So I want to see Holding injury-free, nice and fluent, and commanding that centre-back place. So Rob Holding, for me, will sit next to David Luiz. I find with David Luiz, I still don't rate him. And I will keep saying that until I'm blue in the face. But when David Luiz is in purple form, you don't take him out of the team. It's as simple as that. So David Luiz plays. I know some people will play Socrates there. They believe that he might be fit for the game. I still play Holding now. Saka, I'm going to go stick with at left back. I don't believe Kolasinac is fit yet. Guaranteeing Dashiell ain't. And Lazawa, I know there's a lots of talk that the deal is done. And oh gosh, I think you guys are going to be real disappointed with that left back. Let me tell you. But Saka, for me, I think performed really well first half. And is really starting to adapt into this position, a position that isn't his. I like the kid. I do like the kid. I see some YouTubers not YouTubers, Twitter people, which I've personally had to mute because I'm sick and tired of the nonsense. Really criticised Saka and his defending the other day. And I never understood why. Saka, who was one of our best players in the first half, and this person was absolutely hammering them. But I also find that this person has a habit of just doing some stupid. It's like he says stuff for effect rather than somebody who actually watches the game. I think Saka's doing fine. 18 years old, learning his trade. He's doing absolutely fine. So for me, Bukayo Saka, left back, no problem. Now I'm going to start to come to my controversial places. So you've seen that I've got rid of Luke for Torreira, mainly because I think Torreira is exhausted. Not to mention that he's also playing through a knock at the moment. So I've decided to take him out. Against my better judgment, I must admit, because I tell you what, I really wanted to put him in the team. But I've taken him out and I've decided to play Willock. Now, for me, the last few performances out of Willock I've been very unhappy with. Very, very, very unhappy with. But I've decided to go with him because I believe that his energy against Chelsea might be needed, especially to shut them down. Jorginho is an excellent passer of the ball, but one thing he can't do is run. So I think putting someone like a Willock on him, just to disturb him a little bit, hassle him a little bit, stop him from dictating play a little bit, might help. So I've decided to put Willock. Also, the Chelsea players are pretty, bar Jorginho, they're a young, energetic team. And I think you need a young, energetic midfield in order to be able to cope with them. So that's why I've gone with Willock. And I've gone with Guendouzi alongside him. I think these two do work well together. I think they've got a good understanding. The one thing I would say for Guendouzi, I think his biggest Achilles heel is that he's not a particularly good defensive player, in that players do have a habit of going past him. I think I read a stat the other day about how Guendouzi is the highest. He has the highest. Something about him being the player that players pass the most on the football pitch, or something like that. Like, it was a really bad defensive stat. I think you might need Willock just to kind of help him out there. So I know what you're now thinking. Well, if that's the case, Chig, why play him? I actually think Xhaka has been played pretty well. And there's an argument that you could play Xhaka here, but I am going to play Guendouzi just because I don't think Granit Xhaka has the legs to cope with Chelsea's youngsters. So, whereas I think Guendouzi thought he might move at 20 miles. Sorry, he might move at 8 miles. Sorry, that's pretty fast as well. He might move at 2 miles an hour, but he'll do that all day long. He'll run all day long for you. Not particularly quick, but he'll run all day long for you. So, controversially, I've gone with those two in the heart of our midfield. I've gone with Dani Ceballos. I don't want to hear no nonsense. We watched Mesut Ozil's performance. You can't tell me he warrants a place in the team. Plus, because I think these two might need help, Dani Ceballos is much more prepared to slot in here if he needs to, slot in here if he needs to, slot in here if he needs to. I'm pretty excited to see what Arteta does with Ceballos. You know, they're both Spanish. Both play football the way he likes to play. I'm excited to see. Because the one thing I will give Arteta, who seems to be getting a lot out of these players at the moment, the one thing I'm curious about is what can he get out of this man? Another one who, if he has ambition to stay at Arsenal, we need to see a lot more from him. Because at the moment, I'm not sure I'm sanctioning a deal for Dani Ceballos. But I'm excited to see how the second half of the season unfolds for him. I think he is a number 10. He is almost like Lampard-esque number 10. Let me explain what I mean by that, because I do think Dani Ceballos is a lot more skillful than a Lampard was. But what I mean by that is that I think he's a very, maybe Santi is a better comparison. He's a very technical player, but he's not going to be up here all the time like Mesut Ozil is. I think what I want to be seeing out of Ceballos is tackles here. I don't want just ghost running from like Mesut Ozil does. I want actual constructive running. And I think that's what Danny Ceballos will give you, and that's why I'd start him in that number 10 spot. The left-hand side, I'm going with Martinelli. Now, I know a lot of people will be like, well, he should be up here, first of all. And I get that. I do get that. And I wouldn't necessarily be against that. And don't get it twisted. If you think that that's not going to happen at some point during the game anyway, you're smoking. I'm more or less giving Martinelli a free roll. So I'm starting him on the left. I'm going to say, brother, do your thing. Drift. Do whatever it is you got to do. And that's a lot of the reason why I put Guendouzi this side, because we might need him to cut off the channels. And also Ceballos, and also just to cut off those channels. But to me, I like everything about this kid. One of the very few reasons to watch Arsenal at the moment is this kid. I've got a feeling he'll relish playing with quicker players that release the ball a little bit quicker than your Granit Xhakas, than your Mesut Ozils. You know, they'll release the ball a little bit quicker, which is something I also think Willock needs to work on, releasing the ball quicker, passing the ball quicker. So I want him to be able to do that. So yeah, Martinelli. I've taken Lacazette's punk ass out of the team. Quite honestly, why force it if it ain't working? I'd rather play a hungry youngster, eager to prove himself against his former club. So I put Eddie Nketiah in the side. Remember, it is against his former club. He'll be keen to kind of A, prove himself with Arsenal, B, show them what they're missing, and C, I actually think he'll work well with these guys. Obviously, I've stuck Pepe on the right-hand side. I'm hoping Pepe blows. I ain't gonna lie, I'm just hoping he blows. But I'm hoping that these two might work well together. You never know. Eddie seems like the sort of type that would provide some space for Pepe. So he might just do a lot of off-the-ball running that might bring Pepe into play. I've just got a feeling that will happen. And that's why I've decided to go with that lineup. So we'll leave that on the screen for a little while, interact with you guys, see what you think. What do you think of the team? Let me know. I don't think he rates Ceballos. Just a man. Okay. All right. Torreira is a must, especially when Kante is in their midfield. Yeah. I can see why you say that. And listen, if you wanted to put Torreira instead of Willock, I can understand that. But I also think actually what matters more than Torreira being in their midfield, because Kante is in their midfield, I think someone energetic in their midfield is the point I'm making. You know, saying, "Oh, well, we've got to play Torreira because Kante is in there." That to me is not a logical reason that you put Torreira in again. If you wanted to tell me, no, Torreira has been in amazing form, we have to have Torreira in this game, like say Majib is saying, I don't necessarily disagree with you. Chig, do you think... I actually don't mind that picture. Chig, do you think that Saka can become the new Ashley Cole? Not for me. Not for me. Not for me. Guendouzi is a bitch. Clarence is not a fan. I think Arsenal has taken a mint, as he usually does. Thank you, Abdi. Appreciate it, my bro. Boots in the house. What makes you think that? Just wondering, because I don't know your political views. Oh, okay. That's done shit. Okay. Okay. People talk about silence. Xhaka. What do you guys think of the team? Are you confident ahead of the game? Let me know, people. Please do stick a like on this video as well while you're there. Also, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Plenty of content just to let you know what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days. Again, apologies for my voice sounding so hoarse. Sore throat, people. Sore throat. But yeah, basically what I'm going to be doing over the next few days is that my brain is gone. So obviously I'll be doing a watch along for this, as always, with Lee Gunner. They will be hopping onto this channel to do a review and player ratings. And then I owe you guys a couple more Eagle Eyes and a couple more videos. So look out for that. Evening, GJ Fury. I hope you're well. I hope you're well. I hate Willock. Surprise, surprise. Never fear Buster's here. Been up to Buster. I hope you're well. Dante, I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Football is ruined these days. What do you think the score would be? Honestly, I'm going 2-1 Chelsea. I'll be honest. I think we're done out here. Like Dante says. I honestly think I think we're done out here. I'll be real. I think we're done out here. Well, Nelson's injured, so at least that's part of the problem gone. Chig PT. Hope you're well, bro. I hope you're well. Man, talk about politics. My gosh. Yeah, I think we've got zero chance of beating Chelsea at Chelsea. We're such terrible form. And the way that we capitulated a month ago to them, when we were 1-0 up, fills me with zero confidence that we can get the job done at their gaff. We do owe them one. If we have any chance of keeping up with the top four race, we have to win this. Like I said earlier, I personally think it's gone. But if we have any ambition at all, we must win. Quite honestly, even if the race is done, I'd still like us to show some guts and some balls and just go after them and try and win that game. So yeah, for me, I'd like us to be brave. I'd like us to go and take them on. Even Emily's like, "Yep, it's busting." But I'd like us to go after them. Whether we actually do or not is another question. But in my honest opinion, I think we'll lose 2-1. What's your predictions? Let me have them. Ben will lose 3-1. Gonna dread at best 1-1 or 2-0 them. Can't see them scoring more than one goal. Exactly. I think to win this game, we must score more than one goal. I don't know if that's going to happen. Two-two from Gideon. Okay. Look at my man. Brother. And some people will say, I'm negative. 5-0, you know. Chelsea are not Barcelona out here. I will say that. GDPC is positive. He thinks 2-1 Arsenal. Okay. Only Arsenal can ruin Guendouzi like we almost did Nabry. Okay. Arsenal 2-1. Kessia and Lacazette 2-1 from Pavel. Okay. Some positivity out there still. Boots 3-2. Okay. Boots, I would have thought you'd have predicted a loss like me, to be honest. Fair enough. 3-1 from Frank. 1-1 from Abdi. Okay. If you don't sit back, say it straight away. I'm saying 3-1 Arsenal. Brother, I also think we won't win. I'll be honest. if you're a true baller or whatever you play for Arsenal, this is how I see it. Torreira and Guendouzi are juice. All right. Well, so that seems to be the message from you lot. That's the team that I would play on the screen. No doubt it will get criticised to heck because I've not put Lucas Torreira. I put some runners on the team. I know why I've done what I've done, even though I can see why it wouldn't make sense to you lot. But yeah, to me, I still think whether Torreira plays or not, we're losing 2-1. It's just my opinion. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Please do stick a like on this video before you press that X. It's free. It's easy. All you've got to do is just press click. Just do that because you guys have been slacking in the likes lately. So if you can help me with those likes, I will be very much appreciative. Also, if you can hit that subscribe button, again, that'd be great too. Not far off 7,400 now, so that's great. Trying to get to 10,000 before the end of the season, so that is May. So I've got some work to do, so only you guys can help me do that. Please hit that subscribe button as much as you can. Also, share this thing around. Share it around. That's the only way it will grow, if you share this around. All right, I'm out of here, people. Take care. Onwards and upwards to Chelsea, I guess. Let me see if I can take something for this down throat. Peace.